It was just another regular morning outside the busy city supermarket. The air smelled of fresh bread and gasoline, and the sound of shopping carts clinking filled the atmosphere. No one noticed the tall, quiet girl in the green employee uniform, Emma, the grocery clerk, who stacked crates of oranges near the front entrance. She was ordinary in every sense of the word, unnoticed, uncelebrated, and just trying to survive each day with dignity. But what Emma didn't know was that this one day would change her life, and the life of a child, forever. The hook of this story starts where the heart skips a beat. A baby's sharp cry pierced the noise of the morning bustle. Shoppers looked around, confused, and then dismissed it. But Emma, halfway through loading a new display, immediately turned her head toward the sound. It came from the parking lot. She dropped the oranges and ran instinctively, her sneakers pounding against the pavement. There, just 5 feet away from rolling traffic, sat a baby stroller, unattended, swaying slightly in the morning wind, heading slowly toward the slope. A speeding SUV was turning into the lot from the corner. The driver was distracted, fiddling with something on the passenger seat. Time stopped. Emma didn't think. She didn't scream. She didn't wait for anyone. She sprinted, faster than she ever had in her life, launching herself forward and grabbing the stroller with both hands just seconds before it crossed the path of the moving SUV. The car screeched to a stop, mere inches from her shoulder. People gasped. Someone started recording on their phone. A mother came running from the far end of the parking lot, breathless, screaming, "My baby! My baby!" She had just placed her shopping bags in the trunk and turned for only a second. That second could have taken her entire world away. But Emma had changed the outcome. What she didn't know, what no one knew, was that from inside a sleek black limousine parked in the shadows nearby, someone had watched it all. Jacob Reeds, billionaire CEO of one of the largest tech conglomerates in the country, was inside that limousine. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to stop. He was on his way to a meeting downtown, sipping espresso and skimming through contracts. But something had made him pause outside that grocery store. Perhaps it was the universe whispering to him, perhaps it was fate. As his chauffeur paused near the back entrance, Jacob caught sight of the runaway stroller. And then he saw the girl, Emma, dart into action like lightning, risking her life without hesitation. His heart clenched. That baby wasn't his, but it could have been. Years ago, Jacob had lost his wife in childbirth. His son, David, had survived, but Jacob had never emotionally recovered. Since then, he had thrown himself into business, leaving David in the care of nannies and boarding schools, avoiding the pain of connection. But watching Emma save that child awakened something raw and powerful in him. He told the driver, "Wait." The mother of the child was hugging Emma tightly now, sobbing and thanking her. A crowd had gathered. Emma, flustered and uncomfortable with the attention, tried to wave it off and get back to her oranges. Jacob stepped out of the limo. Inside the store, after things settled, Emma was back at her station. Her manager had scolded her lightly, worried about liabilities, but even he couldn't hide his awe. Still, Emma didn't seek praise. She wasn't a hero in her mind, she just did what anyone would do. Or so she thought, until Jacob walked in. He was sharply dressed, towering, with a presence that turned heads. Everyone assumed he was some businessman from corporate, or maybe an owner. But he wasn't looking at anyone, except Emma. "Excuse me," he said in a calm, deep voice. "You saved a child today." Emma blinked, awkward. Yeah, I guess. That was extraordinary. It happened fast." Jacob smiled faintly. "Do you always downplay courage?" She looked at him, uncertain. "I'm not special." "You're wrong about that." Something about his tone, gentle but commanding, sent a chill down her spine. Then, without explaining who he was, he handed her a sleek business card. "I'd like to talk to you. Not about publicity or media. About something more important. Call me." And with that, he left. Emma stared at the card. It just had his name, a number, and the name of a foundation, the Reed's Legacy Initiative. Over the next week, Emma found herself thinking about the stranger. She searched his name online. Billionaire, widower, tech mogul, a man who built empires yet stayed mysteriously reclusive. What did he want from her? Curiosity won. She called. Their first meeting was brief. He took her to a quiet coffee shop. Asked about her life, her dreams, her struggles. She confessed she worked 2 jobs to support her ailing father and younger brother. Her mother had passed away years ago. College had been a dream that slipped away. You saved a life, Jacob said, while fighting to keep your own together. That's heroism. Emma blushed. It was just instinct. He looked her straight in the eyes. Instinct is the purest form of character. That day, he offered her something unexpected. Not money, not fame, but a scholarship. Full tuition, expenses, mentorship. Through his foundation, Emma was overwhelmed. Why me? Because you didn't hesitate when it mattered. And because I believe people like you can shape the world if given the chance. As the weeks passed, their bond grew. Jacob saw in Emma a spark that reminded him of his late wife, kindness without vanity, strength without hardness. Emma, in turn, saw beyond Jacob's suits and success. She saw a man who had built walls around his heart, yet still watched the world with aching hope. Their connection was slow, respectful, yet undeniable. Emma started classes. She excelled. She volunteered at shelters, helped other girls from disadvantaged backgrounds. The story of the parking lot incident eventually spread, but Emma never tried to use it for attention. She stayed grounded, real. One rainy evening, as they sat together outside the campus library, Jacob spoke quietly. You saved more than that baby, Emma. You saved a part of me that I thought was gone. She smiled gently. You gave me a chance to save myself too. For the first time in years, Jacob felt peace. And something else, love. Years later, that moment in the parking lot became a chapter in a book Jacob wrote about unexpected heroes. He and Emma had gone on to start a nationwide initiative to empower young people through education and acts of kindness. They married in a small ceremony, with David, now older, proudly standing beside Emma. But even after all the success, Emma never forgot that single day, when she ran to save a baby, not knowing that someone was watching. Someone who needed saving too. And that's the message we leave you with. Sometimes the smallest act of courage changes a stranger's life. And sometimes, it brings lost souls home.